On the rare skies of sea where the thunder rolls, march titans of war with fire in their souls. Teal and green, a blur in the fight. Arosaurer strike with jaws of light. They're forged in steel, wired with might. They don't back down, they don't fear the night. With laser fangs and a savage roar, they crush the dark with a primal core. Monster machines, steel fangs of the Republic, ripping through the Kylo's tide. With the codex at their flank, and the command rules racing wide. Stand strong, never falter. In the storm they light the flame. On the rocky fields outside, they fight in the Helic name. Monster machines, steel fangs of the Republic, ripping through the Kylo's tide. With the codex at their flank, and the command rules racing wide. Stand strong, never falter. In the storm they light the flame. On the rocky fields outside, they fight in the Helic name. Monster machines, from the jungle mist to the crater's mouth, the Kylo's hordes are pouring south. Radar jamming, beasts of dread, but Gorets clear the path ahead. Command wolves dash through shadowed hills, fast and silent hunting kills. But it's the Arosaurus who break the line. Teeth like lasers, fists like mines. The Dimetrodons pulse with static cries, but Gorhex blind their evil eyes. The Helldiggers lurk below, till command wolves strike a fatal blow. But when the Black Rhinos charge full speed, it's Arosaurers who rise and lead. In skillful rage, they carve their mark, a flame of justice in the dark. Monster machines of the Republic, with claws of pride and engines loud. Their roars of fear and silence doubt. They stand divided, brave and proud. Stand tall, healing warriors, humanity won't fall tonight. From the front lines to the stars, they blaze with freedom's light. Monster machine fangs of the Republic, with claws of pride and engines loud. Their roars of fear and silence doubt. They stand divided, brave and proud. Stand tall, healing warriors, humanity won't fall tonight. From the front lines to the stars, they blaze with freedom's light. Monster machines, feel thunder rolling proud. The Arosaurers roar out loud. Steel fangs of the Republic, monster must roar out loud. Steel fangs of the Republic, monster machines. In the void of the stars, a lone world screams. The broken, torn at the seams. Steel beasts clash in the fiery tide. From the central plains to the oceans wide. From mountains high to the desert stone, march the heroes carved in chrome. Shield lickers run with a howling might. Command wolves strike in the dead of night. Kodos roar on shattered ground, where liberty and steel are bound. That thunder stops, the earth will shake. For freedom's blade, make no mistake. Zoids, thanks to metal hearts of fire. Zoids, in the storm we rise up higher. Republic's thunder, still defenders roll through burning skies and battles toll. Zoids, this is the final stand. Mad thunder and the Ultrasaurus command. deep and wasteland blight march the claws of the endless night. Hellcats stalk with silken death, sinkers soar with missile breath. The red horn charges cold and grim, death's summer wakes on chaos whim. Their warpath scorch the justice blind, a ruthless march for a twisted mind. One is thunder, one is doom, they clash beneath sea's blood-red moon. Giant horns clash, cannon fire rains, one will fall and break the chain. Mad thunder charges, defiant roar, while death's summer hungers for the war. Zoids, justice rolling like a storm. Zoids, in shattered cities hope is born. Barricades blaze the swamps and fire, rain or scream from the clouds like a choir. Zoids, marching for the light outside, with cannon fire and battle cry. Let the gunnels tremble, let darkness flee. The hellic flame burns wild and free. With every Kado's terror and command wolf, we hold the line on sea's last gulf. The war drums thunder, the Zoids don't yield. The last stand roars on the battlefield. Zoids! Metallic giants rise from iron grounds. Blue guardians down the heart. Lights and fury in the sky.